Greetings to all Southern Cameroonians. This is King Agent. I just want to say the greatest diplomatic effort and or diplomatic work that we have actually put on and have successfully achieved it is Russia. Russia is the greatest diplomatic um, work that we have actually put in to push our revolution to the next level. Why is Russia the most important diplomatic connection that we have so far? Because Russia is one of the members of the one of the permanent members of the United Nations Security Council. There are five nations that are the permanent members of the Security Council, and the five nations are China, France, Russia, United Kingdom, and the United States. And if you know, these five nations control the world, control the economy of the world, and they control the world. So the fact that Germany is talking about Swiss dialogue, and you have certain members from Dr. Samuel Sarkozy's team getting excited, getting happy, getting elated because Germany has spoken about Swiss, that is insignificant because there's something that is higher than Germany, which is Russia. Why is Russia higher than Germany? Because Russia is a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. Russia has the power to veto. Germany doesn't have the power to veto. So you guys who are happy that Germany talked about the Swiss dialogue, it's insignificant. Germany is a powerful nation, but it's not a member of the United Nations Security Council. Russia is, and Russia said that the issue in English Cameroon, it has to do with the root cause. In order to go to the root cause, there have to be a negotiation, which is the greatest. And let me put it exactly as, let me read it exactly as Russia said. Russia stated that the problems in the Anglophone regions are deeply rooted in the colonial era. All problems that have accumulated so far can be solved on the negotiation table. And that is, as I said, is the greatest diplomatic work that we have put so far. The fact that we have a nation speaking for us and saying that we have to go to the root cause of this issue. And this nation is a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, a nation that can veto stuff, that has the power to veto. Germany doesn't have the power to veto. So Germany is insignificant. The United Nations Security Council was pretty much created, it was created to ensure environment of national cooperation, maintaining security and economic development, social progress, human rights, and blah, 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 blah. In other words, you have five nations that are acting like George around the world, that decide, that have the power to veto stuff. Germany doesn't have the power to veto shit when it comes to the global world power. It doesn't. It has power, but not as powerful as Russia, not as powerful. And one thing one thing Southern Cameroonians and the world probably needs to know is that Russia and China are very close, which means that so long as Russia is going to look into this, right, China is not going to destroy the relationship it has with Russia over Cameroon. Listen to these Southern Cameroonians. So long as we push the effort for Russia to look into the issue of Southern Cameroon, that is, to bring the issue to the United Nations Security Council, where the 5 nations that have the power to veto um, stuff in the United Nations, China would not mess the relationship it has with Russia over Cameroon. So, which means that is a good thing for Southern Cameroon. And you also have heard how in Britain, the United Kingdom, they're speaking of autonomy without separation. So long as Russia is gonna speak for the behalf of Southern Cameroonians, China will not go against Russia, and Britain, that colonized Southern Cameroon, will now have no option but to see into the root cause of what happened in Southern Cameroon. So this is the greatest diplomatic work, and it was done thanks to Eric Tato and thanks to Dr. David Makongo, because he was that suggested that idea. And with Eric Tato and a group of Southern Cameroonians who went and protested in the Russian embassy, that opened way for the Russian to look into our issues and to speak of our issues in the United Nations. So Germany has talked about the Swiss. We don't give a damn because Russia has the power to veto our issue, to make sure that our issue is being seen. But Germany doesn't. And, China is not going to have issues with Russia over Cameroon. Cameroon is a small nation. So, shit. This is our advantage as Southern Cameroonians. This means that the soldiers on ground zero must intensify the fight inside Southern Cameroon and outside Southern Cameroon. Inside Southern Cameroon and outside Southern Cameroon. So that they see our sincerity, they see our effort, they see how boldly we are acting. This is the time to intensify the fight all over our 14 counties. And with ANA, Ambazonian National Army, which was created by Eric Tato, taking the fight across the Mongol, blowing up places inside La Republic de Cameroon, intensify the fight. The war must go across La Republic de Cameroon. We must do that. That is the key. We must attack the heart of La Republic de Cameroon. While doing that, we must also control the fight inside Ambazonia. It's a two-way war. And we need a strong militia. We need a strong army. And our army must be united to see that We don't fight against each other, but against the enemy, which is like Republic of Cameroon. That way, it plays better for us to achieving our independence. And I gotta say, by destroying some of those chiefs, and with the strategy that Eric Tato has brought up, where if the chiefs decide to buy 10 AK-47, then they will be free from the forces of Southern Cameroon. But if they don't, none of the chiefs that, no, if they don't, all of the chiefs that voted in this last election, well, will be brought down, justice. And this is another method to use to control ghost towns on Mondays, because when the chiefs and councils have been brought to justice by the soldiers of Southern Cameroon, the citizens who want to open their market will have to wise up. If the soldiers of Southern Cameroon are going and killing, destroying, obliterating members of councils in La Republic who are supposed to be working inside Southern Cameroon, and chiefs who voted, then it's going to be easy to burn down their shops if the day open on Monday, which is a tradition. Nothing operates on Monday. So this is another method to showcase our power on ground zero. That way, nobody would dare open their shop. But then again, if they open their shop, they will feel the consequences. It's as simple as that. Eric tried to put it in a better way, but I'm just trying to tell you, all Southern Cameroonians on ground zero who want to open their market on goes down days, if the chiefs are being persecuted for what they did inside Southern Cameroon, do you want to take the chance to open your shop on a Monday? I think they'll be wise up. Goes down must be respected at all costs. Absolutely. It must be respected. You open your shop, well, it's on you. We're getting the so-called chiefs. And if the chiefs decide to buy 10 AK-47s, well, then that's a leeway for them to be protected. Just as for the councillors. If the councillors buy 12 AK-47, they will not be touched. But if they don't, you know the consequences. Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians mean business. This is a free and independent state, and we must be free by any means necessary. Life is war. 2021 is gonna be intensified. No matter what strategy like Republic of Cameroon brings, we will counteract it. I know for a fact that China will not try to go against Russia, because Russia and China are like one. So long as Russia look into this diplomatic work that we need, China is not going to go against Russia, and China is not going to go against Russia for Cameroon. So Bia, it doesn't matter if it's France, China. I think you have no friends now. I think you have no friends. So the war continues. Southern Cameroonians, we will win this war, but we must work unitedly. Our soldiers must stay focused and liberate the counties, all 14 counties. All 14 counties must stand up for Ambazonia. All 14 counties are part of Ambazonia, integrated in Ambazonia. Whichever county is liberated is good for Ambazonia. So we must upgrade our AK-47s. We must upgrade our strategy of how to defeat La République du Cameroon inside Southern Cameroon. And we must look at the loopholes, the weak points of La République du Cameroon and check them out so that we become more stronger. If we attack the forces of La République du Cameroon together as a force on ground zero, we will easily defeat them. But if you have one military camp or two military camp going against La République du Cameroon and then trying to fight against other Southern Cameroon military forces, it's gonna delay our goal. Unity here is the key. We must be united. We must be one. Southern Cameroon, indivisible. And then strike La République du Cameroon so that we can defeat them. Russia is the key we need, because with Russia, eventually we get the support of China, not directly but indirectly, and United Kingdom. Because United Kingdom or Britain has a role to play in Southern Cameroon issue because they colonize us and they are the one that created this issue in the first place. So they must fix it. Willingly or not, they must fix it. This is a colonial issue. And we were free, and for some reason, they decided to patch us with France and with La République du Cameroon. No more. Freedom is the key. And we'll fight our way through to attain it. This is King H.